tremendous looking trophy.
Hello and welcome to Platinum Explosion, #1 PlayStation podcast in the Oceanias. My name's Dumb Black. Joining me, as always, actually Hobley.
Hey John, excited to be here to talk about the Game Awards again, probably.
I mean, like half of it, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Don't know, I mean, what else you want to talk about?
I know. It's good. It's good because there's lots to talk about then.
Okay.
There's time to stew on these things, so.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Just a quick piece, PSA, housekeeping, whatever. So this is the second last episode of Plat for the year until there's a quick little break. So next week's, if you're wondering when the break of Platinum Explosion episodes will be coming, next week's episode next week's episode that releases on the 21st will be the last before a few week break. So there you go.
We're coming back the 18th, at least,
18th
right?
of January, yes. So there's 1, 2, 3 weeks without Plat.
Okay, so here's my question. Have we confirmed what we're doing about The Last of Us TV series?
Yeah, we're recording. I've got it in here already. Record on the 17th. Record Last of Us. Record Plat. All these things.
Yeah, but where's The Last of Us going?
So what I'm thinking is it'll be a spoiler-free discussion on here for like at least the premiere. And then if you want our spoiler thoughts, I'm going to upload them on Plat as a separate episode.
Okay.
I feel like that makes sense.
So
right?
spoiler-free during the episode, and then...
Spoiler-free during
Plat.
the episode, then a separate episode if you want our spoiler thoughts.
Okay.
I was thinking it would make sense to call it the title of the spin-off stuff should just be called like PlayStation Productions or some whatever, it's a spin-off of the segment. So
all right.
Something like that. It doesn't make sense to do full spoilers in the Plat episode because people might not have watched the episode yet.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. So there you go. Yes, that is what's happening. But Platinum Explosion is back the same week the Last of the show starts. So keep that in mind, everyone. All right. This week on the show, though, in the trophy cabinet, silver trophy for Dinosaur High. It's back. Gold trophy for Final Fantasy getting released today, and a platinum because Death Stranding 2, or the game that may or may not be called Death Stranding 2, has been revealed. But first, let's talk about 2 demos I played. Not real games, demos. So the Forspoken demo first dropped as part of the Game Awards. Played that. Been a little bit of interesting discussion around this one on the internet. I've seen everyone shit talking it. I thought it was fine. It's not really a demo, it's not a slice of the game demo. Maybe that's why people didn't like it. It's very much the demo's just set up to give you an idea of how the game plays, not like combat wise and how you move around the world. And it doesn't give you story missions or anything like this. To the point, I think I saw one of the producers or someone like that come out the other day and say hey, the way those missions you were doing in the demo and structured, that's just for the demo. It's just go from point A to point B, kill some people, go to point C. I think that's what people complain about, at least from what I could gather. So, but it's just meant to be for the demo, so you get an idea of the combat and stuff. But yeah, so the game is heavily you're a fucking spellcaster because so you press so third person magic wielder, I guess, is the thing. For people who don't, for some reason, can't remember this game, it's a game where this character is transported magically from Earth to this alternate dimension. They quickly run you down all of this at the start of the demo. Then they're just play the game. So the character, whose name I can't remember, but she can cast spells. Frey, there you go. She can cast spells, and on R2, that's your main damaging spell. Then on L2, you'll have a support spell, and then you can press R1 or L1 to bring up a quick select menu where you can change those spells. Some spells do more damage, are stronger against certain enemies and that sort of stuff. It's not as simple as just fire, ice spell, that sort of thing. The 3 spells you have unlocked in the start of the demos, one's a quick firing thing, one's more a shotgun sort of blast thing, and then one's a shield thing that you can hold up and then disperse like the rocks at enemies as you're sort of doing it. And then the support spells you can use. And by the way, the support spells, like once you use it, it's on cooldown, so you can't just like spam them. But one of them's a like stun AoE sort of thing. Of one's a big whip thing that hits people back. Another one's like a healing spell, leech life off enemies and that sort of stuff. So yeah. But the cool thing is combat's like fine. When you're doing it right, it feels really cool though. So, because when you're either moving around the world or even in combat, you hold down circle, and this is all that stuff that you would have seen in trailers, you know, where the character just is magically flying along and jumping across rocks and stuff. So whenever you hold down circle, it just activates this parkour mode thing. So Freya will begin running fast forward, and then like if she comes up to an object, she'll just, you know, parkour over it and all this sort of stuff. And that all works really well and looks cool. But then you can do that while in combat too. So you can like dodge, run, parkour over something, jump into the air, like hit a bunch of enemies. Like when you're doing cool stuff, it looks cool. But if you just want to stand there just like, you know, like it's kind of sort of a little bit boring, I guess, playing it that way. Towards the end of the demo, I unlocked some sword thing. So it went from being a ranged only game to where I had like a magical sword. So then I was all up in enemies' faces and attacking them that way. So there is going to be some sort of variety. The world is big, at least from what the map can see. You do very quickly. It's like you unlocked a fast travel point. You unlocked a fast travel point. So there's going to be lots of like that sort of stuff. And I guess based on this, there's going to be, I guess, that Ubisoftication or whatever you want to call it of, hey, there's like a tower side quest thing over here. Hey, there's like this, you know, like all that sort of stuff you want to, like little secrets and stuff to find. The other thing I've seen people complain about is Frey just as a character. She didn't bother me, but I don't really know. She does fall under the category of the very talkative sort of character you're playing as, but she's talking to, I can't remember how it works out. She's like talking to, is it Stephen Merchant? Sounds like fucking Stephen Merchant.
I think so.
Yeah. I only just played it before recording, but it sounds like Stephen Merchant, which I can't remember. It's just this being or whatever, like he's helping it. I don't know. Anyway, you see him in the trailer a couple times as well, like the thing that's helping her on a journey. So he'll be like, oh, look out over there. And then she'll, you know, like it's just lots of back and forth talking between the two of them, which seems to have grated some people. I don't really mind, but yeah, game looks pretty. You've got a bunch of obviously your typical modes where one has ray tracing, one's 4K, no ray tracing, another one's runs, you know, for 60 frames, all the typical sort of shit you'd expect these days. I wasn't blown away by the demo, but I've not been like super pumped for this game anyway. I feel like I'm just like, yeah, cool. I'm keen potentially to learn more. Press Start, I saw put out a full preview this morning where they got to play a bunch actually in London, I think is where they went to play
actual game.
With the actual game, with the story missions and all that sort of stuff. Yeah. And their preview was very positive. Yeah, with context. So their preview, who I can't remember who they sent and did it. Maybe it was James.
I think it was Ewan.
Was it Ewan? But their preview was very positive, so that's good to see. So yeah, I mean the demo is like a proof of concept sort of demo, or not proof of concept, but just like an idea of like how it plays, not actually how it plays. If that's a weird thing to say, but yeah. What have you haven't played this, I don't think, but
no, like, I didn't play it because obviously there was a lot of negative response to the demo, but a lot of people I respect saying it doesn't seem like it's in context, and when you have it, the actual tutorial going through of how to play the game and the story, it might play better. So Forspoken's a game that I've kind of been interested in picking up, so I've held off. But yeah, reading some of the other previews and stuff, it sounds like a lot of the spellcasting gets pretty deep and interesting combat-wise. And yeah, I mean, it's interesting that you would have a demo that maybe isn't the game, you know.
I feel like
we have.
Well, no, if you do it, I feel like you just make a message at the start, because the message you get at the start is like, hey, this game's, you know, this is an early version, blah, blah, blah. Why not also have what you're about to play is not, does not signify what the gameplay actually is. It's just, this is a demo created for you to experience the combat. Like something that sets the player's mind into like, what it is.
It's interesting because Square Enix is like one of the only companies that still does like dedicated demos. Yeah. Like obviously we've had all the like Final Fantasy ones and the Kingdom Hearts ones, the ones that come to mind. So, yeah, I mean, it's good that people got a taste, but it's unfortunate that it's kind of left a bad taste in some people's mouths.
Which is weird, because if you played this at like a PAX or like a convention, and you had someone from Square Enix there be like, hey, like, just so you know, this is just a gameplay thing. Like, we don't have any story here because we just want to keep the story behind closed doors until people get to experience it for themselves.
It would be fine.
Everyone would be like, yeah, cool. And then they'll probably walk away like, yeah, the combat was fine. Like, you know, I'm keen to learn more about the story, you know. But I feel like because everyone doesn't have that and they're just downloading the demo and going, like, I went from objective to objective and all I did was 5 objectives where I either opened the chest or killed some enemies and then suddenly it said game over and now here I am. I'm annoyed. This looks boring. Which, not to say I'm sure that a lot of the game is just go to place and kill enemies, but like maybe, you know, with some context of why you're going to a place and killing enemies, which is the main thing, I guess. Alright, so the other demo I played was the Season a Letter to the Future demo. So this is a game, it's kind of hard to explain, I guess, but it's about this like girl who's leaving her village. It's like a hidden away from the rest of the world sort of village thing scenario. And she's going out to explore the real world and document it for the first time. The demo is only like at the very start as she's leaving her village, so you sort of get an idea of what the gameplay is going to be like, I guess. Very pretty, like the art style is very nice. That's sort of the standout thing from all the trailers and stuff we've always had. But you like learn about her village at the start because she talks about like this doctor character who recently died that everyone loved, her father and a few other things. So you'll take pictures of stuff and then she'll talk about them, like, and then you get to place the pictures all in like this scrapbook. And once you've found the pictures in the area of everything that you need, like you complete that scrapbooking page and then you can sort of decorate it and stuff like that. I really liked it. I mean, obviously it's not going to be for everyone, this sort of these photography games or whatever, if that's even a genre, but the other thing is like you can record music too, like on these record players, like playing songs, you pull out this little recorder thing and record it, and then she talks about how this song plays all the time and what it means to the people that live there and all this sort of stuff. And at the end of the demo you pick out a bike and you play this little section where you just get to free control, just flying down this mountain on this little bike, and it's very pretty and nice, and then just like, yep, get ready to play the game. I'm like, cool, I liked it. So, do you remember this one or?
Yeah, maybe not for the reasons that they'd hope I'd remember it, because obviously,
yeah, they had the dude or the guy. I think he's like they kicked him out in the end, but
yeah, they had some issues within the studio. But yeah, it looks a cool art style. Looks like it, you know, an interesting vibe and that kind of stuff. So
yeah, no, it was cool. I think the demo is available for probably as long as the Forspoken one is, which maybe it's not even available by the time you listen to this. I can't remember. Let's get into some news for the week. Of course, old stuff. Well, not old, but main big things coming out of the Game Awards last week. If you want to hear us talk about anything that's not mentioned here, of course, all the other trailers and stuff, listen to this past Monday's episode of Arcade Couch, where we discussed everything from Game Awards, Death Stranding 2, or the game that may end up being Death Stranding 2. It's DS2 / Death Stranding 2, working title, whatever. Was officially revealed at the Game Awards by Hideo Kojima, of course. He came on stage. Very cool. Obviously, this is the podcast where we've been talking about this being a potential for months and months at this stage, between all the posters that have been showing up at different places, including PAX and the cast announcements of this game, and Hideo just posting things and whatever else. And, you know, it was all leading to something, and thankfully it was all leading to a sequel to Death Stranding. Really, obviously I'm super pumped for this game. I've played Death Stranding twice, so like, absolutely love the game. I did go, as I said, on Arcade Couch and go watch a few breakdown videos and stuff like that where people point out things. There's nothing like groundbreaking in the trailer, like where it, of course, reveals everything, but there's just lots of small details, like people pointing out that, it's like at the start you've got the baby toys, and like on the thing where it's like the fit the circle and the square and the fit the shapes through the holes, like that sort of baby toy.
Crab.
There's like a crab, like there's all these small little things in the background. There's like a car from the first Death Stranding, like that you ride around in. Like there's all these little things. They probably don't mean anything. The stuff that doesn't mean stuff is sort of hard to figure out. So you've got the new red wearing characters that are carrying a car. What's it, like a body,
guitar.
presumably? Yeah, like up a hill. And then you've got the dude in the guitar who's Troy Baker, but we don't actually know if it's the same character. So all those people, there's lots of theories about it. It's either like maybe a swerve because it's Troy Baker doing the song guitar thing.
Yeah.
Everyone reckons it's I can't remember the character's name now. Anyway, his character from Death Stranding, the first one, who dies at the end of that game. But then like there could be people are pointing out maybe it's a swerve because of course he goes to pull off the mask at the end and then you don't see who it is, and maybe it's Emily, who also we thought died, but but that would like because they're all wearing red and that's what she wears in the game. She wears red. So of course, like being Kojima, any of these are possibilities because who really knows what he's going on. There's lots of other really weird things too, like the fact that Fragile, her skin, I've seen people point out it's fine, so it's not aged, like it doesn't have the time fall effect on it anymore. So and that's why she eats the little bugs throughout the whole game. She even has that line where she's like, a nanobite a day keeps the time fall away, or something like that. She says something. So you've got all that sort of stuff, but she's and then people at the end are pointing out, well, there is a part, like, because Sam, when he shows up at the end, has grey hair, which, makes it feel like it's potentially years later. But then people have also pointed out that in Death Stranding, there's a cutscene where, the rain just lands on Sam's hair and it's like turning grey. So maybe his hair's just timefall. Like, it's just been affected by timefall. It's only been a couple of years, or not as many years as you may think, sort of scenario, which is always a possibility. And then other cool thing that I didn't really think about that was pointed out in some of these videos I've watched was that you see the baby at the end, like the BT baby, it's the BT BB, which is the thing that like appears in the little tank. Like they're like maybe that's who's actually playing with the toys at the start, because you see some blocks being thrown around, but you can't actually see any child there. So it could be a BT, not BB. That's the thing. So and then the other weird thing that I did think about this as soon as watching the trailer for the first time, is weird how Fragile's like when that big ship comes up and it's called something I can't remember, like a name that's not mentioned in the first Death Stranding, at least anywhere that I was aware of, or I haven't seen anyone else say anything else. But she's like, yeah, come aboard, meet my people. It's like, I thought you worked for like Fragile Express. Like, what's that? Like, you work for two companies now? Come on, you can't work for two delivery companies. I know. How are you feeling about Death Stranding? Have you seen any stuff? Like, how are you feeling about the trailer in the couple of days since the Game Awards?
I mean, yeah, it's interesting because obviously we're going to go on another weird psych trip for the next couple of years until this eventually comes out. But it's good that, we finally know what he's doing. Death Stranding was the Explosion Network's Game of the Year in 2019, so I mean, we all loved it, had a great time with it. So going back into that world will be really interesting. I feel like it'll be interesting. Like, obviously, the director's cut played quite differently to the actual game. There was a lot more action elements, or lots of weapons introduced, at least much earlier. Into the game, so it'll be interesting to see if the game is more in line with that than the box Death Stranding game. You know what I mean? But yeah, I mean, it looks really cool. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what they're doing, playing with time. Obviously, your running theory is that Elfanding is playing Grown Up Blue, which makes sense because I mean, Kojima spam posted a bunch of stuff on his Instagram after the Game Awards, whether it's just everybody in the cast, but then obviously you've got all the posters that he's put up, and obviously the Elle Fanning one is "Who am I?" It would make sense, she's questioning who she is because she's obviously Lou, who's stolen as a baby.
Extra swerve. He Metal Gear Solid 2's it, and you think you're going to play as Sam in this game again, and you do for like the first couple of hours, but then after that, you actually play as Lou.
Maybe.
There you go. Can't wait to find out I'm right.
Give me my ideas.
In a couple of years.
Yeah, it's just, I'm sure we're going to get heaps more weird stuff, but yeah. I'm excited to see it. Yeah, but all the fragile stuff, like, obviously, that was the thing that kind of didn't click till much later that, she's wearing a tank top.
She's wearing a tank top, which you never see her wearing. Because she's got the Timefall effect on her skin and stuff. Yeah. And she shows her one time in the game. So.
Yeah. So,
whether
they've found a way to reverse it, like, what are you even going to do in this game? It's not going to be the same delivery thing you would assume from the first game.
No. Well, that's the interesting thing is, of course, on stage where he said that he had the story written out for this ages ago, but then after COVID, he just rewrote the whole thing.
He's like, I don't want to predict the future again.
Yeah.
But what if he is predicting the future again and he just
doesn't even realize
it? He's altered history by changing the events of the game.
Could be.
I wouldn't put past Kojima to be dictating the fate of the world.
And I really want to know why they even want to come for Lou. Like, the start of the trailer. Like, who's coming and why? Why do they care that much?
About this baby.
About this
baby.
This baby who wasn't destroyed. So, that's the...
It's interesting she was fragile as well.
Yeah, which... Like, Fragile and Sam have a relationship, like, they tease a, like, potential romantic, but they never go there. It's just like, they obviously they have strong connections in the game, and you can understand how it could turn romantic. But she does, at the end of the game, she never shows back up, and you never have any, the last couple hours of the game, Fragile's not there, so really,
Yeah, it's interesting.
Right. Other thing that happened at the Game Awards is we got the official release date for Final Fantasy XVI. So it's going to come out June 2023. There's a bunch of pre-orders available. There was an insane trailer in which people transform into fucking Aeons or summons or whatever we call them in this game. Did I say here? Controlling icons yourself. There you go. EIK. IONS. Iconics.
Yeah.
Interesting. I was reading through the PlayStation blog post before. This paragraph here is the one. It's like, we're introducing a story focus mode recommended for those players who are less comfortable with action games and wish to focus more on the game's story elements. In this mode, Clive will automatically evade some attacks, and epic iconic combos can be triggered with simple button presses. Action focus mode, where Clive's every action is controlled by the player, is available for those who are confident in the skill or want to test it. So, there you go. For the people who like Final Fantasy and for the story but don't want to play the game, here is the mode for you. By the way...
well, I mean, it sounds like story mode could potentially be a bit more...
Well, it's an accessibility thing, but...
No, just more, turn-based, I guess. Like, not so action-heavy, which would... be better for people who love those sort of games, much of the way you could play Final Fantasy VII. I was going to say Final Fantasy VII Remake,
they did something in there.
Yeah.
But the best part of this PlayStation blog post, talking about the game, is they say this part here where they're like, a hero's best friend. Trusty Torgal takes to the field. Another outcast from the Northern Territories taken in by House Rosefield, Torgal was found alone in a snowfield during one of Archduke Elwin's expeditions to the freezing north, and gifted to his sons upon his return. After somehow surviving the disaster that nearly ended the Rosefield line, he was reunited with Clive, the character you play as, over a decade later, and now he serves his master with the same fierce loyalty he did when he was a pup. In battle, Clive's faithful hound...
separated for 10 years,
They were separated for 10 years, that's right. In battle, Clive's faithful hound, Torgal, is never far from his side, and when enemies approach, he does not quail. Not only can Torgal attack enemies, but he can also mend Clive's wounds. And if Clive times his orders right, the two can prove a devastating duo.
He pulls out his bandages.
Just starts like wrapping. Yeah, I assume it's like
does the stitches up.
You know what's going to be? He's just going to come up and lick you.
He's going to lick you.
Yeah, he's going to lick you. He's going to lick you, and you're going to somehow magically be healed. But yeah, good dog is good. So
good dog is good.
Good dog is good. Yeah, I don't know. Any other thoughts on Final Fantasy 16? Good to have a release date. Obviously, is the main thing that
It is good to have a release date. Those collector's editions. Bonkers.
Yeah, expensive.
Like the really expensive one that's definitely not coming to Australia.
Yeah, it might.
Sorry, Kieran and Paul.
Paul will probably just pay double the amount and get it ordered.
Import it?
Yeah.
I wouldn't put it past him.
Yeah, me neither. Not for me. Not for me.
But Square Enix, if you want to send one over.
Sure. At that point, it is for me. Other PlayStation thing that got announced at the Game Awards, of course, was Horizon Forbidden West DLC expansion, whatever we're calling it, which is Horizon Forbidden West Burning Shores. So on the PlayStation blog post, they write, "Today we're thrilled to announce Burning Shores, our expansion to Horizon Forbidden West, which sees Aloy pursue a sinister threat in the untamed wilds of Los Angeles, now a treacherous volcanic archipelago. She will be traveling to a dangerous new region south of the Tenkarth clan lands, featuring a compelling storyline following on from where Horizon Forbidden West ended. New characters, adventures, and more. Some details which we can look forward to sharing to you very soon. Our creative vision for the Burning Shores is an ambitious expansion which will take Aloy to the ruins of Los Angeles. It's an overgrown and fractured city that can be fully explored via the water and flying on the back of a sunwing. A massive machine for threat lurks in its shadows, a huge challenge that Aloy must overcome by using all of her skills and abilities. To achieve this grand vision technically and creatively, we've made the difficult decision to focus all of our efforts on making an incredible experience exclusively for the PlayStation 5 console." What do you think about setting, potential storyline, and why the PS4 people are getting fucked?
Yeah, I don't know. I guess, they've been working on it. It's crazy that it's going to come out like over 12 months after the actual game. But yeah, I mean, I guess they're just doing some technical stuff that's crazy over in Los Angeles. Obviously, they've said that it's going to be the city's kind of been swallowed up by the sea to a certain degree. So like whether there's a bunch of technical stuff there with the water and whatever massive creature that they're apparently teasing, they just couldn't make it work on the PS4. I'm fine with, because obviously, it's been long enough. I think, especially come April next year, hopefully everyone who wants a PS5 should be able to get a PS5 at that point. But and I believe there is a free upgrade if you've got the PS4 version of the game. So
free upgrade. That's why it was cheaper to buy the PS4 version of the game and just play the PS5 version than it was to buy the PS5 version.
It was. So, I'm keen to jump back in. Whether that, it sounds like it takes place after the end of the game.
No, it is. They say that in the thing.
Yeah. So, that'll be interesting to see, and then how much of that plays into the next game. How much elements of that could potentially play into the next game, because obviously, like the Frozen Wilds,
set up one of the clans or whatever for the Forbidden West. I can't remember which one now, but
so that played a part into the next game. So there were elements there. So yeah. It might make me go back and maybe I can finish collecting stuff. Probably.
You got the plat right there.
No,
you didn't. Oh, fucking. All right.
Hunting grounds. They were
too hard.
Come on. Yeah, I couldn't be bothered.
I'm keen to play it. I don't really care about not being on PS4. I think, it's been long enough. But especially by the time it comes out, and if they're saying that, like, maybe they could have got it to work on PS4, but it's like at a certain stage, if it's like the amount of work it would require for us to get this on PS4, is it worth it? Like with the amount of manpower, you know what I mean? Just like, is it worth it? Or are we taking is our creative vision going to have to take a Like, do we have to change it to get this to work on PS4? It's the same as you talk about God of War Ragnarok. Like, that game's on both consoles, and not that you can super tell, but every time you crawl through a little alleyway or rock or slide between things to hide a loading screen for the PS4 that the PS5 doesn't need, that's when you can know it's a cross-gen game. All right.
Yeah.
Talking about stuff that wasn't at the Game Awards, though. Spider-Man. Very disappointed. I'm sure he was, Ash.
Bloody hell.
But weirdly, tell me what you think of this. So the game, story page of a game. So who am I reading from here? DualShockers. They write, thus far, we haven't seen any official reaction from PlayStation and Insomniac Games. And so, oh, fuck, I went too fast. The Game Awards 2022 was already a great showcase for PlayStation fans, but there might be even more surprising news before the end of the year comes, as Sony quietly launched the PlayStation Store page for Marvel Spider-Man 2 in the UK. Thus far, we haven't seen any official reaction from PlayStation or Insomniac Games on social media, but the story page of the game usually goes live after a certain announcement or trailer that shares enough information about a game to launch its dedicated PlayStation Store page. In the case of Marvel Spider-Man 2, it's only available for the UK region through the PlayStation 5. While the domain exists on Google if you simply search Marvel Spider-Man 2 PS Store, you can't open it through your browser as it redirects you to a page showing an error. This could be a clue to the fact that the page is about to go live soon, but the time has not come yet. In addition to the quiet launch of the PS Store page, some developers behind Marvel Spider-Man 2 shared teasing tweets recently, which adds up to the possibility of getting an announcement about the game in the near future. Like James Stevenson, they've got saying here, click that wishlist and follow button. Thus far, we only know that Marvel Spider-Man 2 targets a relaunch in 2023, but a proper release date is what fans are asking for at the moment. If anything new is about to be shared on the game, we really hope it includes some direct feed gameplay moments as well. What do you think about this release date popping up and, well, not release date, sorry, the page popping up, sorry.
You know, it could be nothing, you know. I mean, we know the game's coming, and it's coming in the next 12 months, hopefully. So it's not surprising they would just put a page up. Without any fanfare is a bit odd. You know, normally, you would put it up with a trailer, but yeah, maybe we're getting a trailer. Maybe we're getting a special Christmas surprise. You know, you're gonna just drop it so it by itself, so it can, has all the news to itself. It doesn't share the spotlight with everything else of the Game Awards.
Could,
because it is so massive.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to release date anytime soon because we're just too close to Christmas. Like, it's just a weird time to it. But early January, like obviously once the new year starts, maybe. Could the game fit into that late March slot that we still don't have something for? No.
I think they're hoping that Horizon Burning Sky, or whatever it's called,
yeah, that's it,
is going to fit that April-March slot.
Okay. I don't think it will for most people. Like, I know it's an expansion.
I don't think it will, but I think that's what they're hoping for.
People want a full game. They don't want DLC. Oh, well. It's interesting. I feel like we're going to get something soon, but I just don't think like anytime soon. I mean, like early next year, maybe.
I mean, there's still time, but it just seems odd that, normally that would be like several months out. Information. It's
the same as maybe a bunch of people have stuff planned for early 2023, because even Xbox the other day, when people were asking about why didn't you have a bigger presence at the Game Awards,
Xbox,
I can't remember who said it now, but someone said, stay tuned, we've got lots of exciting information to share very soon about all of our games that are coming out 2023, sorry. To which I'm like, yeah, cool. Well, so far you've got like none announced. So, like, is this a very early January event? Like, what, to set out the year? Like, what's the go? Sorry.
Day one.
Yeah, January 1st. Everyone's hungover. Xbox event. It's fun. All right. Final news story for this week is that Dinosaur High. So, Co-op, or how we coop? I don't know. The developer behind Goodbye Volcano High finally released a new trailer and gave an update on the game. So this was the it's a dinosaur high school, last year in high school game where you play as dinosaur and everyone's a dinosaur. Sorry, just to clarify, everyone's dinosaurs. You know, like it's not humans and you're a dinosaur. Everyone's dinosaur characters. It's a dinosaur teen.
It's a dinosaur world.
It's a dinosaur world.
It's set thousands of years ago.
Yeah, the dinosaur world, thousands of years ago. You're a teenage character, last year of high school. It's a teen angst thing. I don't know. You're in a band as well. Anyway, it looked really cool. It was announced at one of the PlayStation events.
Just like the real dinosaurs.
Yeah, exactly. It was announced at a PlayStation event like a couple of years ago.
Was that the PS5 reveal event?
Literally, yeah. Good point. And then was really excited for it. And then the developer said, "Hey, we just got to like hold it back. We got to rework the story we decided we just want to redo the story." So this is the first we've heard about in ages. It just sort of came out of nowhere, but they put out a new teaser trailer where you can see a little bit, I guess, of the gameplay. It shows like some like story conversation bits between characters, some of the mini games that you'll be doing in moments, like when you're playing instruments and stuff like that. It still looks awesome to me. Like I just like love the character designs and the general idea behind the game, and everything like that. And now they say that the game will release in winter 2023. So that's Australian winter. I've already done the conversion. So it's Australian winter 2023. PlayStation 5 and PS4 and Steam as well. You keen for this?
Yeah, I'm keen for this. You know, and obviously it was a cool trailer when it first came out. We all love dinosaurs. It looks like it'll be an interesting narrative story, and hopefully, you know, it lives up to our hopes and expectations. You know.
Yes, that's what I like to hope for all videos.
Well, we were let down by you were let down by We Are RFK, so I mean,
true. Yeah. But this is dinosaurs.
And there's a lot of text. It looks like there's a lot of texting in this game, and we all know that you hate that when people, you know, just remove vowels from letters. Just text real words.
I feel so old. I feel old. So old complaining about that game. I can't. Just feel like an ancient. I feel like a dinosaur complaining about that game. All right, that will do it for this week's episode of Platinum Explosion. Of course, let us know any comments, questions, concerns, thoughts you've had on anything from the Game Awards, how excited you are for Death Stranding 2, whatever else. Tweet at us, explosionnetwork.com/Twitter. Join Discord, explosionnetwork.com/Discord. If you like the episode or like the podcast in general and want to support us over the holiday season, explosionnetwork.com/support. You can donate $1 or more and say happy holidays, Platinum Explosion. And until next week, remember next week will be the last one for them 3 weeks off and back for The Last of Us and all that sort of stuff. Remember, every trophy counts.